When people speak of success, they often speak of goals, discipline, and hard work, but rarely do they speak about the most valuable currency each one of us is given from the moment we are born: time. You see, every day the sun rises not just to give light, but to remind you, you have another 24 hours. The question is not whether you will have time, the question is, what will you do with it? In the Shi Heng tradition, we are taught to be mindful of every movement, every breath, every moment. Because every moment carries a seed, and that seed, when nurtured with awareness, will grow into your future. If your days are spent in distraction, your life will become scattered. But if your time is directed with clarity, your path will unfold with purpose. Look around you. Most people are not failing because of lack of talent or opportunity. They are failing because they are careless with their time. They confuse being busy with being productive. They spend hours chasing noise, but never find silence. They run from task to task, but never ask, is this taking me closer to who I want to become? To spend your time wisely is not just about planning, it is about alignment, aligning your actions with your values, aligning your habits with your vision, aligning your present moment with your future self. Only when time is used with intention can it transform into power. So today, I invite you to sit still for a moment, not to plan your day, but to reflect on your life. Because the one who masters time masters their destiny, and the one who wastes it becomes a slave to regret. Time is the only resource that every person is given equally. Whether you are rich or poor, young or old, every day offers you the same 24 hours. But what makes the difference between a life of regret and a life of fulfillment is how that time is used. Most people are not defeated by lack of opportunity. They are defeated by their inability to manage what they already have. The truth is, how you spend your time is how you spend your life. Time, like energy, flows naturally, and if you don't take control of its direction, it will disappear before you even notice it's gone. You don't lose time all at once. You lose it slowly in quiet moments of distraction, in endless scrolling, in conversations without purpose, in routines that were never questioned. It slips away silently, and one day you wake up and wonder where it all went. In the Shi Heng tradition, every movement is a reflection of inner presence. Every breath, every step, every gesture. It is not just something you do, it is something you are. Time is not something outside of you. It is within your control if you are aware of it. The problem in today's world is not the lack of time, but the lack of awareness. You see, most people live unconsciously. They move through the day reacting to the world instead of responding with clarity. They allow the world to dictate their rhythm instead of mastering their own. But a disciplined life is not built on willpower alone. It is built on conscious structure, on creating a system that honors your time and protects it like something sacred. If you truly desire success, you must start by looking honestly at how you are spending your hours. Are your actions aligned with your goals, or are they simply filling the space of your day? Just because something keeps you busy does not mean it is useful. The world is full of noise and urgency, but that doesn't mean you have to answer every call. Wisdom begins when you learn to say no. No to distractions, no to what does not serve your growth. No to anything that pulls you away from your deeper purpose. You don't need to fill every moment with activity. Sometimes the most powerful use of your time is to sit, to reflect, to observe your thoughts and examine your direction. Time management is not about squeezing more into your day, it is about doing less, but doing it better. You cannot be great at everything, but you can be focused on what truly matters. The master does not waste energy. He conserves it, he directs it, he uses it with intention. In the same way, you must ask yourself daily, what is truly important? What will bring me closer to my inner vision? What am I doing now that is stealing time from the person I wish to become? These questions are not just mental exercises, they are tools for alignment. To master time, you must first master attention. Because whatever holds your attention is where your time is being spent. If your attention is constantly scattered, your life will feel scattered. But when your attention is deliberate, your life becomes a reflection of purpose. Attention is trained, just like a muscle, and that training begins with simplicity. Remove the unnecessary, eliminate the distractions, create space for clarity to emerge. Only in that space can you begin to decide what deserves your energy. The modern world worships speed, but the ancient path teaches stillness. And in stillness, you begin to see the truth. Success is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters. Many people chase after success without ever defining what it means to them. They fill their schedules but empty their souls. They reach milestones but feel no peace. Why? Because they never took the time to sit quietly and listen to their inner voice. They never built a relationship with time. And when you are not in relationship with time, you become a prisoner of it. There is a saying in the monastery, a man who cannot sit with himself for 1 hour is not yet free. If you cannot command your own attention, if you cannot be the master of your time, then someone else will always control it for you. Society will give you its own priorities. The world will offer you countless things to chase. But only you can determine what truly matters. Only you can protect your time from being consumed by things that bring you no closer to your truth. Discipline is not about restriction. It is about freedom. The freedom to live intentionally, the freedom to act from clarity, the freedom to give your time only to what aligns with your higher purpose. Success is not an accident. It is not a sudden rise to greatness, nor a lucky turn of events. It is the outcome of small, repeated decisions made consistently over time, and the most powerful decisions are often the simplest. Where do you place your focus, and how do you choose to spend each hour of your day? Many people seek motivation, inspiration, shortcuts, and systems, but very few are willing to look into the structure of their everyday life. What you do daily becomes who you are. If your days are unfocused, your future will be uncertain. But if your days are guided by clarity and purpose, your success becomes a natural result of your process. The truth is, your future is hidden in your daily routine. From the moment you wake up, you are already shaping your destiny. The first thoughts you allow into your mind, the habits you repeat, the things you tolerate, the things you avoid, all of them are threads that weave together the fabric of your life. You cannot achieve greatness by accident. You cannot rise while living a routine of low-quality habits. Many people spend hours chasing big ideas and goals, but they overlook the small disciplines that give birth to those goals. You cannot plant weeds and expect a garden of flowers. Every action, no matter how small, is a seed, and your routine is the soil in which those seeds grow. If you want a strong life, build a strong routine. Discipline is not something you turn on and off. It is something that must live within the rhythm of your day. The mind will always look for the easier path. That is its nature, but your awareness must rise above comfort. You must see that the easier path rarely leads to the higher goal. There will be days when you don't feel like following your routine. There will be distractions, fatigue, frustration, but these are not signs to stop. They are signs to continue, because the moments when it is most difficult are the moments when growth happens. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you are strengthening your character. You are teaching your mind to serve your purpose rather than pull you away from it. In Shaolin philosophy, we speak often about repetition. The master is not the one who performs 1,000 different techniques, but the one who has performed one technique 1,000 times. Repetition is not failure, it is refinement. The more you repeat a powerful habit, the deeper it is carved into your being. That habit becomes a part of you. You no longer need to think about it. It becomes instinct. In the same way, you must build routines that serve your long-term vision. Wake up at the same time. Protect your mornings. Feed your mind with what inspires you. Take time to breathe, to move your body, to train your focus. These routines are not a prison. They are a pathway to freedom. Most people believe that discipline restricts life, but it is the opposite. Without discipline, you become a slave to impulse. You become reactive, controlled by emotion, pulled in every direction. But when your routine is grounded in discipline, your energy becomes powerful. You conserve time. You create space for growth. You are no longer rushing through life. You are flowing with it. The strongest routines are not based on motivation, because motivation comes and goes. They are built on clarity. When you know who you want to become, your routine becomes a reflection of that identity. Every hour of your day is a vote for the kind of person you are becoming. Your routine is not separate from your dreams. It is the foundation of them. Do not wait for the right mood to act. The disciplined life begins when you do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. Feelings are temporary. Vision is long-term. When your routine is connected to your vision, you will rise beyond the noise of excuses. You will act from alignment, and the more you act from alignment, the more confidence you build. Confidence does not come from words. It comes from keeping promises to yourself. Every time you follow through, you earn trust. And the more you trust yourself, the further you can go. Look at your current routine and ask yourself, is this leading me to the life I want? Are these habits serving my higher self, or are they distracting me from it? These are difficult questions, but they are necessary, because nothing changes until you become honest about what needs to change. You cannot expect transformation while repeating the same patterns. Change requires intention. It requires awareness, and it requires consistent action. Not for one day, not for 1 week, but every single day. Because success is not built in the future. It is built in the now. It is built in the morning you rise with discipline. In the moment you choose focus over distraction, in the decision to act even when no one is watching. These are the invisible victories that create visible results. The quality of your time depends not only on how you plan your day, but also on the level of awareness you bring to each moment. Many people live in a constant state of mental noise. Their bodies are in one place, but their minds are in another. They are thinking about the past, anticipating the future, worrying about things that haven't even happened. In this state, even when time is available, it is not truly lived. You can sit in silence for an hour, yet be overwhelmed inside. You can spend time with people and still feel alone. Presence is not about what you are doing. It is about how deeply you are connected to the moment you are in. We are taught to chase time, to fill every second with activity, to measure our worth by how busy we are. But the way of the Shaolin is different. It is not about doing more. It is about doing with presence. When you drink tea fully. When you walk fully. When you speak with your whole being. This is not a poetic idea. It is a practical way to live with energy, clarity, and peace. The more present you are, the less time you waste. You begin to see the patterns of distraction. You become aware of your thoughts before they control you. You respond to life instead of reacting to it. This is how time becomes rich. This is how even the simplest moments become powerful. In modern life, people often multitask. They eat while checking their phone, walk while answering messages, speak while their mind is thinking about something else. This fractured attention creates stress. It creates fatigue. You feel exhausted not because you did too much, but because your energy was scattered. Every time your attention is pulled in multiple directions, your mind must constantly switch. And with every switch, you lose focus, you lose clarity, and slowly, you lose connection to the present. To truly spend your time wisely, you must reclaim your attention. You must protect your mental space as carefully as you protect your schedule. Being present is a discipline. It is a skill that must be trained like the body. It begins with small practices. When you eat, focus on the taste. When you breathe, observe the breath. When you are in conversation, give your full attention. When you are working, remove distractions. These simple practices restore your energy. They bring peace to your nervous system. They allow your mind to slow down and your awareness to deepen. And from that awareness, insight arises. Creativity arises, understanding arises. You begin to see solutions you were blind to before. You begin to feel gratitude for things you once ignored. You start to notice how rich each moment truly is. One of the greatest wastes of time is unconscious living, doing things simply because that's how they've always been done, saying yes to things that drain you, following habits that do not serve you, spending time with people who pull you away from your purpose. When you become more present, these patterns become visible. You begin to recognize what feels aligned and what does not. You begin to feel when you are acting from truth and when you are acting from fear or habit. And once you can see clearly, you can begin to choose wisely. The most successful people are not always the busiest. They are often the ones who have mastered simplicity. They do less, but they do it with intensity. They are not rushing from task to task. They are fully immersed in the few things that truly matter. Presence allows you to access this level of focus. When you are fully engaged, time expands. You get more done in less time. You experience more with fewer experiences. You extract more meaning from the smallest actions. Life becomes deeper, not just faster. Presence also brings emotional strength. When you are aware of your inner world, you are not easily shaken by the outer world. You notice the rise of anger before it controls you. You observe fear without letting it paralyze you. You feel sadness without drowning in it. This inner awareness gives you power. It allows you to respond to challenges with calm, to make decisions from a grounded place, to move through life with grace. When you are present, you don't avoid your emotions. You meet them. You don't resist life. You engage with it. And this engagement gives your time depth and substance. Presence is not a luxury. It is a necessity if you want to spend your time wisely. Without it, life becomes a blur. Days pass quickly, but nothing feels meaningful. You look back and wonder where the years went. But with presence, even a single hour can be transformative. Even the most ordinary routine can become a source of learning, of peace, of insight. Time is not just what moves on the clock. It is what you bring to each moment. When you are here fully, when your attention is whole, your time becomes sacred. One of the most important aspects of using time wisely is learning how to set clear priorities. Without priorities, you become reactive instead of proactive. You move through your day responding to whatever comes your way instead of focusing on what truly matters. In the absence of priority, everything appears urgent, and you end up spending your energy on tasks that do not contribute to your growth. Many people mistake being busy for being effective, but there is a deep difference between motion and progress. You can be constantly moving and yet going nowhere. The key is not just to do more, but to do what matters most. In a world that constantly demands your attention, your ability to choose what to focus on becomes your greatest strength. Every day presents you with hundreds of options, distractions, and opportunities to spend your time. But time is limited and energy is not infinite. If you try to say yes to everything, you will be left with nothing of depth. True success is not built on how much you do. It is built on how well you do what truly matters. You must learn to separate the essential from the non-essential. You must train your mind to ask again and again, is this necessary? Is this aligned with my purpose? Is this bringing me closer to my vision? In the Shaolin tradition, we are taught the power of simplicity. The master does not clutter his practice with unnecessary movements. Every motion is direct. Every step is intentional. This philosophy applies to life as well. You must simplify your commitments. Cut away what is not aligned. Focus your time and energy on a few vital goals and pursue them with full presence. This kind of clarity creates power. When you are clear on your priorities, your actions gain depth. You stop wasting time on things that do not serve you. You begin to value quality over quantity. Priorities also give you a framework for decision making. Life will always test you with unexpected choices and situations. But when you have a strong sense of what matters, those decisions become easier. You don't have to rely on impulse or emotion. You don't need to ask everyone for advice. You simply ask, does this serve my highest goal? When you operate from clear priorities, your life becomes steady, you stop drifting, you begin to move with direction, and with direction comes momentum. Momentum is created not by speed but by consistent movement in the right direction. Setting priorities also means learning to say no. This is not always easy, people may not understand, you may disappoint others. But you must remember, every time you say yes to something that is not essential, you are saying no to something that is. Time spent on what is unimportant is time stolen from what is. Protecting your time requires courage. It requires strength to choose the long-term vision over the short-term comfort. It requires discipline to focus on what truly moves your life forward rather than what temporarily entertains or distracts you. Often, people avoid setting priorities because it forces them to confront what they really want. It requires self-honesty. It requires letting go of illusions, of trying to do everything, of trying to please everyone. But the moment you commit to clarity, your life becomes lighter. You no longer chase 100 things. You pursue a few things deeply. This depth brings fulfillment. It brings excellence. It allows you to master something instead of merely sampling everything. Your priorities also reflect your values. If you say your health is important, but you never make time to move your body or eat with awareness, then you are not living your values. If you say growth matters, but your days are filled with avoidance and comfort, then something needs to shift. Your time reveals the truth. It shows you what you actually value, not what you wish to value. So look at your day. Where does your time go? Who receives it? What receives it? And most importantly, why? You are not here to live a life of scattered energy. You are here to build, to evolve, to contribute something meaningful that requires focus. It requires that you respect your own time, that you stop treating it like it is endless. Time is precious because it is limited. You do not get to live the same day twice. Once it is spent, it never returns. And so, if you want to live wisely, live by priority. Structure your days around what lifts you, not what drains you. Make room for what helps you grow, not what keeps you stagnant. Use your time as a tool to build the life you truly want, not as an escape from the life you fear. Success is not something waiting for you in the distance. It is something you build each day through the choices you make, the focus you hold, and the way you honor your time. The greatest transformation begins not with giant steps, but with small acts done consistently and with intention. When you learn to treat your time as sacred, when you align your daily actions with your higher vision, when you bring full awareness into each moment, you begin to live not by default, but by design. True mastery of time is not about control. It is about connection. Connection to your purpose, to your priorities, to the present moment. You are not here to merely pass time. You are here to use it as a tool, as a bridge, as a path to becoming who you were meant to be. So be mindful, be deliberate, be disciplined, and remember, how you spend your time is ultimately how you shape your life.